Hey everyone, welcome. Joshua here from J.G.P. Plus Engineering Architecture. Just checking in to set up this episode. Hi guys, I'm just exhilarated to have you back in our part 3 of our hardscape design. In this part 3, we will go through the Profile Manager tool. I will take you through the Profile Manager tool. Remember, and I clearly remember in our previous episode I spoke about the 3 major tools a designer has to master using ArchiCAD. Those 3 tools are the Profile Manager, the Shell tool, and the Morph tool. Those are the three crucial tools, very capital, that a designer or an architect using ArchiCAD has to master, because you will come up with different geometries of a different type, and some of them will be complicated to design with classic ArchiCAD tools. So the thing is, these 3 tools allow you to design complicated geometry, allow you to build up shelves of different kinds, to create object tools. So mastering them, it's very crucial. They will make your work flexible, and they will definitely allow you, a great achievement in your project. So without further ado, let's start with the Profile Manager. So once you set up your ArchiCAD interface, as you can see right now, I'm pretty sure that mine looks a little bit different than yours. So mine, I set it this way. So the Profile Manager, yes, this icon here, when you have over it, it says Profile Manager. This kind of I-beam or W-beam. I think it's mostly like kind of a W-beam, not really a I-beam. So clicking on this W sectional beam, you click on it. It will take you to the Profile Manager settings box. So there's something that you have to understand about the Profile Manager, how it works. So a profile, the name itself describes what the tool does. So for you to use the Profile Manager, you need first a profile, right? You have a profile, then you manage that profile into the Profile Manager working space. So for you to have a profile, you need eventually a sketch, a simple sketch, and then that sketch has to be closed. The outcome of your sketch has to be a closed shape, not an open shape, a closed shape. So why it has to be a closed shape? Because a profile, it's a closed shape sketch. When your sketch is, the shape of your sketch is now closed, it becomes a profile because it's fully defined, right? So once your sketch is fully defined, then you can create a profile with it with the Profile Manager. So this is what you do. You create your sketch on your plan view. It might be your plan view, your sectional view, your elevation view. Once you have that profile, then you copy the profile. You copy the profile, you paste it in your Profile Manager interface. Once your profile is there in your Profile Manager interface, then you have to assign to your profile a fill. So that fill, it's like, it's definitely, without 2 questions about it, a building material that you will assign to your profile, meaning that space, that surface of your profile, I mean your sketch. So you will assign a fill to it. I will demonstrate it to you, and you will see what I mean by that. So this is the Profile Manager, right? Let's say, for instance, I'll come over here. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit here. I'll take my line tool. Okay, I'll use it as a polyline. Let's say I want to, my profile looks like this. Let's say I'm just building a random kind of sketch here, just let's say like a C, something like that, kind of a C section. Let's go up and down like this. Let's say this is my sketch, right? This is my sketch. So I want to create a profile based on this sketch, based on this C, you know, based kind of awkward C, right? Yeah, let's just okay, I'm just gonna mirror it. Let's mirror. I'll click on mirror there. Please mirror from here to here. That's all. There it's mirror. Then I click on this side. I'll say move it a little bit this side. Okay. This is, let's say I want to build, you know, this wall, right? Let me check the dimension of it. Let's say this is a wall, right? This is a wall. So I want it's 68. Okay, no problem. Fine. Let's say this is a wall or type of a section, you know, concrete wall, brick wall, or let's say a pretty specific wall. You know, maybe for a firebox, maybe for a chimney, you know, something like this. Let's say I want to build this wall, but I cannot do it with the wall tool, you know, with the classic wall tool. I need to use a profile manager, right? So this is my wall. So I need this type of profile for my wall, specifically for, you know, for it to be used for, you know, my chimney, you know, right? So first, my sketch is differently closed, fully defined sketch, so it becomes a profile, right? What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click on it. I'll say copy. Okay, once it's copy, I click on my profile manager. After clicking in there, this box will appear, right? Then I'll click on this button here that says new, which means I'm creating a new profile. Though there are a lot of profiles, as you can see here. If I scroll down, you see that there are a lot of profiles here, but because this is a new one, so I'll click on new. So I'll call it my chimney, something like this. My chimney. I'll say okay. Once I click okay, so the profile manager editing interface will be activated, so meaning that it will appear, as you can see. So now we are in my chimney interface, which means that the profile manager, so I'll right click here, I will say paste. It will paste the profile that I had on my plan view into this view. So I'm just gonna say, let me keep it center of, I mean, paste it in the center of the current view. So then we're gonna keep it, you know, zoom to paste element. Okay, no problem. Let's keep it just the way it is. I'm gonna say, I'll click OK. Then I click aside. So what I'm gonna do here, the first thing here, I have to center this profile. I have to center it. So I'm gonna select it. I'll click on this guy here. I'll say, please center it here. I'll put it there, right? Okay, it seems like they didn't select everything at the same time, because some of them, I'll click like this. I'll say, please center it here. Once my profile is centered, so the thing is, the first step we done, I have my profile already into my profile manager interface, you know, into my profile manager working space. So what I'm going to do, the second phase is that to assign a fill to this element, to assign a fill to this sketch. So to assign the fill, it's very easy. On, you know, your sketches tab here, on your left side, the sketches tab, there's fill tool. It's up to you. You can customize your sketch tab, you know, you can customize your design tab, you can customize all these tabs. They are customized because I'm sure mine's, they look different than yours, right? They definitely look. So you can customize it based on, you know, how you want your working interface to look like. You know, mine, I want it to look like this. That's why they were customized this way. So I'm gonna click on fill here. Once I click on fill tool, on my scroll bar here, they also touch scroll bar because you can scroll, you know, left and right, using, you know, the mouse button. So you see that it has given me a building material already that says tile floor. But in our case, it's not a tile floor, it's a wall. So we have to choose either bricks, either blocks or concrete type. So in our case, let's say just for the sake of explanation, right? I'm gonna choose concrete smooth surface. Okay, I'm gonna click OK. So meaning that I've already reserved or activated a specific building material. So what I'm gonna do now, the line, okay, it's a normal line. There's no other parameters that need to be changed or that need the modification there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have an over by zooming in over my profile right here. Then I'll press down the space bar. Once I press down the space bar, you will see that there's a magic wand that appears. That signifies that you are in a surface, at the thing that you want to perform an action. So you need of me, magic wand. I say yes, I'm definitely in need of you. So what I'm gonna do, by holding down the space bar, pressing down the space bar, at the same time, I click, in this surface here, because it's a closed shape, right? So I have a specific surface here. So I'm just gonna click in the middle like this. Automatically, the profile manager assign the building material that I've chosen on my scroll bar into my profile shape. So not only it assigns the material, but what it does, it even give it dimension. It gives measurement of the width and the height of my wall. Okay, at the same time. So for our first bullet, this is what you have to understand. For you to create a profile using the profile manager, the first thing you need it's a sketch. So you import or you copy paste your sketch into the profile manager interface. After pasting it, what you do, you have to assign a fill to your closed shape. You click on fill tool, you press down your space bar, then the magic wand will appear. You click in the middle, in that surface, in your closed shape, that surface, the surface space of your closed shape, you click there. Automatically a fill will be assigned to your sketch. Then that sketch becomes a profile into your profile manager. Then in the same manner, you will see that your profile manager will your profile manager will assign dimensions to your profile. So this is the first step. So once you have it like this, what you do next is that you come here, you click on save. Then my chimney is saved as a profile manager. But this is what it becomes more interesting. But the thing is, you will find out that they're underused with their building element type here. We have a wall, we have a beam, we have a column, we have a railing, we have elaborate parts. So the thing is, because in ArchiCAD this profile doesn't have an identical building type element, that's why ArchiCAD with the intellectual of profile manager came with proposals to us to say, no, you know what, you can save this element as a wall, as a beam, a column, a railing, or a library object, which one you're going to choose. But in our case, we know that this is a wall, right? Let's say this is a wall, but even if it's a wall, it's too big to be a wall because we have a 5 meters 70 by 3 meter 64. It's too big, which means that the walls will be very big, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna save this profile either as a beam or a column. So we will deactivate the wall type, right? So we're gonna save it as these two, then we're gonna click save again for the second time. So meaning that If we want to place a complex beam or a complex, let's say, column of this type with this profile, this will be only achievable by using the profile manager the way we did it. So what you do after here, I will show you in how this tool is very handy. You can click on your profile like this, is activated. You can, there are a lot of things you can do with it. You know, you can keep it, save it as a core, as a finish, as others. The other thing you can do here, you can even override the surface, you know, the out surface of it, you know, inner or out. I mean, you know, surface of it. Here it says the surface chosen, it is smooth, you know, light polished, you know, concrete surface. I can choose not even a color. I can assign a color to it, you know. I can assign a paint here. Let me look for paint. This is just an override surface, right? I can say no, I want it to be a dark gray. So I click save. You know, it gets saved. You know what you can do a lot of things here, and then you can come here, a design layer. You can assign a layer to it. Which kind of layer you want to assign to it. In our case, it's a construction layer that we have chosen. And the thing is, you can even do even more, because ArchiCAD comes with the full package. You know, it doesn't come half. What you can do, you know, in this, the other thing you can do here with your profile is to come here where it says modifiers, right? It says here modifiers. Here it says modifiers. What are modifiers? Okay, modifiers, you know, they are kind of, you know, parameters that are undefined in your profile manager. What do I mean by that? Let's say that this is my section, right? I have this section. I have the width and the length, which are, you know, already dimensioned. But there's something that is not dimensioned here, right? There's something that is very crucial that is not dimensioned here. Beside my width and my length, there's something. It's the thickness. The thickness of this element is not you know, defined. ArchiCAD came up with an option, you know, a tool called by modifiers. What you do is that you come here which says new modifiers. You click on it. The dialog box will pop up telling you to assign a name to your modifier. Modifiers are different ways of offsetting an element. It might be your breadth, your width, your thickness. You know, you want to offset it at a proper time. You want to offset it either to increase the thickness of it, to increase its geometrical shape, or to decrease the geometrical shape. So once the modifiers are set up, so you don't need to come into your profile manager, open it again for you to assign changes or to make a change to your profile. Only from your design interface there, or from your section view, your plan view, you can do the change there automatically using the modifier button. So what's going to happen here, I'm going to assign a thickness modifier to my section. So how to do it? I'm gonna say, okay, I can call it, I will say our thickness, let's say thickness, I'll say 02, or I can just come here. In this button it says list of modifiers used in other profiles. I'm just going to click on it and say, okay, is there a thickness? Yes, there's the thickness here. I click on thickness. Then I click OK. Then ArchiCAD is going to ask me, what are your thickness? What are your edges? Show me your edges for me to be able to assign the thickness modifier to your profile. I will say, okay, my thickness please goes from this edge to this edge. Then I bring it outside, I click here. It says that my thickness is a 68 centimeter or 0.68 meter. you see that the yellow warning box that appeared here in the beginning is normal. So, and there's something else that happened. You see that ArchiCAD has assigned these divergence arrows. If I'm working on this profile and along the way throughout my design, I found out that this thickness is too big, I can modify it. But if I'm modifying, let's say that this is my full beam, right? If I modify it, only this section, only this piece of my C section or let's say my wall will be modified, not these other two sections, because I've only assigned this measurement, this thickness, only on these two, but these other two, there's no modifiers assigned to them. These other two, they have no modifiers assigned to them. So what I'm gonna do, this I have to assign modifiers in these other two, so that if I'm working and I'm in need of a change, or I have to apply some modification to my section, the whole section will be modified. So in this, you're gonna say, okay, Jerry, so we're gonna go back again, choose another modifier and come back. I'll say no, we're not gonna do that. No, we're just gonna use the one that we have set up already, to make sure that these other two will be attached and will be able to match them, so that once we change our thickness, the whole section will change completely. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have over this upward arrow. Once I'm there, you'll find out that there's this plus, right? Kind of square button plus that appears. I will click on it. Then I guess when I ask me, okay, you want to add up modifiers? I will say yes. How are those modifiers? Are they inclined? Are they inclined horizontally? Offset horizontally? Are they offset vertically? I'm gonna say no. They are just aligned. They are not inclined neither horizontally nor vertically. They're just straight. And I will come here. I'll have over this line, this edge. I will click. You see that ArchiCAD, if I move my cursor left and right, you see that there's an arrow right in the middle that is moving as well on the left and on the right. So if I check my previous modifier, you see that my arrow was pointing upward. So this one as well, based on this reference, my arrow will point on the left. So I click once more again. Then I'll continue. I'm not yet done. I'll have over this arrow, I'll click on plus, which means that I'm continuing my action. I'm not yet done because there are three pieces, right? I'll have over this edge again. I'll do the same thing. I will click. Once I click, the same toggling will happen. This time it's going to be up and down. So based on this reference, definitely I have to set it going down. I'll click this in this surface. So meaning that this edge is all set. Let's use the same trick for the other edge. So I have over here, I'll click on this button. I'll click like this. I'll say take it out. Then I'll just gonna do the same thing. I'll have over here, I'll click on this button. I come on this edge. I'll click. I'll say okay. Please take it upward. I'll click this way. So definitely, once it's like this, the meaning of this is that my profile is fully defined. So I've assigned modifiers to my profile. So each and every time I want to do a modification to this profile, I have to apply modification to this profile. There's no need for me to come again to my profile manager and start modifying sections, start modifying sizes, or start modifying my thickness, because it's already set. So when you click on these two, you tick them. There's no need for you to come again and apply your modification into your profile manager. You can do it straight on your modeling interface. There will be a scroll bar here. You can just scroll on your right side and you'll find the buttons, the ideal buttons for you to do and apply your modification. right? So this is how you use the profile manager. You take advantage of the profile manager to do your buildings. Okay, then I'll click on save. While you save like this, we're good to go now. So I'm just going to say, so my profile is called my chimney. I've assigned a beam and column to it. I'm just going to click on close. So once I'm on this interface here, what I'm going to do, we've saved our profile as a beam or column, right? So I'm just going to have over structure here. I'll click on beam tool. Once I click on beam tool, I have over the default settings bar here, but I will come over here, over structure, right? I will click on structure. You see that there are 3 buttons here on top. There is the rectangular structure, there's the circular structure, and there's this complex profile structure. So our element is a complex profile, right? I click on complex profile. Once I click on it, you see like there's a box here. There's a dropout box. Once I click a name custom, once I click on it, there will be a dropout, another menu that will appear. So I'm just gonna look for my chimney, right? I look for my chimney. I think there to be somewhere here. Yes, my chimney. I click on it. So I've already assigned my chimney as my element tab using the beam tool, right? So when I scroll on the right, it says that I will press my chimney profile at 1 meter from the floor. Let's put it at 3 meters, a little bit high. So then as I'm scrolling on the right, you see that these are my profile dimensions. They are all here, both of them, they are here. And as I'm keep on scrolling, you see that there's this button here that says profile offset modifiers. If I click on it, it shows me my modifier. Here is my modifier. Remember, the thickness is here. So basically, this is what I was saying. Instead of going back to the profile manager, opening your profile, my chimney, and modifying it, graphically modifying it from your design interface, you can do your modification right here. So I can give it a size, a proper size that I need. This is how handy the profile manager is. So what we're gonna do, okay, let's draw our beam then. Draw our beam. I'm gonna use, let's say, a continuous beam, a poly beam. So I'm just gonna click here, click there. Oh, it's pretty big, yeah, it's pretty big. Let me just take it this way. So I click there, click something like, let's say, I'll come back in here. Then let's say I will click here, right click and say okay, I'll stop, right? If we go to our, let's say, marquee, 3D marquee, go there, a piece of it will appear here, but not all of it, because I cut off a marquee. There is our C section. Look how big it is. It's so big, 3 meter by 5 meter, definitely big. You see how big it is, right? It's so big that it can't even fit. Okay, let's continue. So it's so big, but let's say I want to modify it. Let's say I want to modify this side. This side is too big, please. I cannot have this kind of section for a beam. It's so colossal. This is where these dimensions, remember, the profile height and width becomes handy when you tick them. So what I can do here, I can say, oh, this is height too big, please put it, let's say 20. This width is too big, it's too huge, please put it, let's say 10. 10 centimeter. Put it 10 centimeter. Automatically you see that there is the modification are they're already applied to our beam, right? You can see the modification there. So what I do, I found out no, my thickness is too big. I'd like to modify my thickness, so I come here to profile offset modifiers. I click on it to check my thickness is still the one that we assigned, when we were working in the profile manager interface. So I will say my thickness, please put it 10 centimeter or 0.10 meter. There is, you see, it automatically obeys whatever number, whatever size you have assigned to it, and applies it to your profile. So this is how I take advantage of the profile manager. The profile manager, well used, this is how fast you can be, in your design. This is how accurate you can be, with your work. So you can still modify it. You can still go ahead. You can still modify it. You can still change a lot of things. You can still change the width. The height of it, the thickness. Let's go back a little bit here to profile again. I would say no. Give it 5 centimeter or 50 millimeter. So there is. You can still tweak it, at your desire. You can still tweak it, your way, as long as you want it in the same different shape that you want it. You can still put it accordingly. Okay, so this is how you take advantage of the profile manager, with the usage of modifiers. Okay, for today we will stop here. Just stay tuned. Really stay tuned, because there's a lot of things that I want to share with you. That will help you. And see you in our next episode. See you. Cheers, guys. Bye.